Alright, continuing our Idiot's Guide to X-Wing, today we are talking about the pilot card. So the pilot card is one of the main things you need to fly a ship. You of course need the ship itself and the little base and a little ship token, which mirrors the stuff you find on the pilot card. And of course your little maneuver dial with all the different maneuvers that you can do. We'll get more into that when we talk about moving and gameplay and stuff. For now, we're just talking about the pilot card. So, the pilot card represents the combined stats of the ship you're flying and the person flying it. First of all, at the top, we have your pilot name, and it'll either have a black dot next to it, or it won't. If it has a black dot, that means it is a unique name. You can only have one copy of that name on your side of the table. Whether this is a pilot card or some other upgrade card, there's a few, we'll get into that later, but black dot, you can only have one on your side. Even if you're doing let's say a rebel or resistance versus resistance, I have blue ace. This is a unique pilot. I can have a blue ace, but I can only have one, but the other side could have a blue ace if we wanted to. But why do resistance versus resistance? That's boring to me. I want to shoot TIE fighters. Look at them. Don't you just want to blow that up? The unique name pilots tend to be a bit better, but more expensive. There's a whole point cost for all of the ships and upgrade cards, whereas the non-unique tend to be cheaper and not as good, and there's some differences between the two. We'll get more into that later, but for now, it's your name, and we got the ship below it, which make sure you got the maneuver dial, which matches that ship name, because you might have the other X-Wing, the T-65, that's wrong, don't do that. It's also, I think it's just objectively worse, so you really don't want to do that. To the left of that, you'll find your pilot skill, that orange number. That is basically initiative. It determines turn order. We'll get more into how turn order works, but it ranges from 1 to 9. 9 means you're a higher skill and you will shoot first, but move last. Lower means you'll move earlier and shoot later. Now, in pretty much every situation, it's better to shoot first than to not, so I can't think of a reason why it wouldn't be better to shoot first. So in that regard, pilot skill 9 is objectively better than pilot skill 1. However, in some cases, it is better to move first than it is to move last. In fact, there's a whole strategy about using a lot of smaller, weaker ships, lower skilled ships, and almost forming a cloud of debris in a way for other ships to get caught up on, and you can screw them up, basically taking away options and cool stuff that they can do. So higher number tends to be better, but not necessarily. Depends on what you're going for. But definitely when it comes to shooting, higher number good. Below that are the 4 basic stats for your ship. The red number is your primary weapon. When you attack, you're going to grab that many attack die, and you're going to roll them, and they're going to roll a certain amount of green die based off of the number below it, which is the agility rating. And so they'll roll that many green evasion die. If my blue squadron novice wants to fire on this asshole, he's going to grab his primary weapon value of 3. Stuff's going to happen. They're going to grab their, their agility, I should know that, 3. And then stuff will happen and things will cancel each other out, and then damage will happen and it'll blow up. But yeah, red is how many attack die you roll. In general, 3 is pretty solid. There are a few with 4. And those are kind of an outlier, really. For the most part, 3 is a really good, solid attack. 2 is kind of average. It's okay, I guess. It's fine. TIE fighters will have 2. X-Wings will have 3. That should give you some idea of where the ships lie, I guess. I don't know. And a few will have 1, which is basically nothing. Why even bother attacking with those ships? Well, there could be plenty of reason depending on the situation. Anyway, it kind of works the same way. 3's good. 2's okay, or average, I guess. 1's not very good at all. Your biggest, slowest ships will have 1, or maybe... Is there a 0? I don't think there's a 0. There could be a 0. I gotta get more ships. I gotta buy more things. So I can know these things. Anyway, yellow and blue numbers. So basically, collectively, they're your health. The yellow number is your hull value. The blue number is your shields. And so at the start of the game, you are going to grab X amount of shield tokens for whatever your shield value is and just put them on your pilot card. So this X-Wing has 3 shields. The first order ties, they have 1 shield because they're all advanced and shit. And then when they take damage, I'll roll red attack die versus green agility die, things cancel, hit gets left over, does damage, and then you take away a shield. And then any hits that get through after that will cause you to draw a damage card. There's two sides. We've got the back side, little explosion, and then the face, which we ignore for now. Unless it's a critical hit, you ignore it. So you just put a face down damage card. He's taking a damage, he's got a damage on his hull, and as soon as he has damage cards equal to his hull value, which is 3 in this case, he dies. The cool thing about shields is that they don't get affected by critical hits in any special way. They just go away, same as if they were taking a regular hit. So it's good to have shields to protect you. That's why the TIE fighters, the regular TIE fighters, these guys, those are especially vulnerable because they have no shields, and so a critical hit could draw. Oh, there's one of them where it's like it just counts as double damage. There it is, direct hit. This card counts as 2 damage to your hull, so that would really suck if you got that when you had no shields, which of course is always going to happen if you're one of those guys. Next we have the action bar. You'll see an eyeball at least, and then some other symbols next to it. Those are the actions you can do during the action phase. So basically, you plan your maneuver. I want to do this thing, and then you put it face down, and everyone's doing that simultaneously, and then in movement turn order, you flip, you go into the activation phase, you flip your thingy, and then we find the corresponding... Oh, is that it? There. And then you move your ship, and then you do an action. Right after you do your maneuver, you activate your maneuver. Now there's a whole bunch of actions in the game. We won't go into them today, but the eyeball, that's one everyone gets, where you get a token that can help you offensively or defensively. You maybe get a target lock on someone that will, of course, be offensive. You can even get a boost or barrel roll action, which can move you around the battlefield a bit better. And there's a bunch of whole cool new crap you can do. New expansions introduce new actions, and we'll touch on those in the future. And there are situations where we don't actually get an action, as I talked about earlier. If you get blocked by another ship, accidentally not really ramming into another ship, going around another ship is how they explain it, you lose your action. Or actually hitting obstacles can cause you to lose an action, and other stuff. We'll get more into that later. Anyway, actions. Below that, we got the upgrade bar. And these are the things that you can... Fuck, I didn't bring any. Tiny little cards, this size cards, tiny cards, and they will have a symbol matching these symbols on your upgrade bar. And it shows a limit of how many of that type of upgrade you can have on your ship. So this ship can have 1 torpedo, 1 astromech, and 1 tech upgrade. This one can have a tech upgrade, and the little medal is an elite pilot talent, which I believe is only on unique ships, I think? Maybe? But not all unique ships have a pilot talent. But each of these upgrade cards will have a cost in the bottom right-hand corner, and you can only have so many points on your side. And of course, in the bottom right-hand corner of these, you will see a point cost as well. The middle section. Okay, so the middle section, if you have a non-unique pilot, this middle section will be an italicized paragraph that just has some useless flavor text. The T-70 model benefits from its redesigned thrusters with increased maneuverability in both space and atmospheric flight. It doesn't do anything. It's just there to take up space. That's it. Now, if you have a named pilot, you'll actually have a really cool, unique pilot ability, which can help them do a new cool thing. When performing a boost action, you may use the Speed 1 turn template. Oh, that's it. That template. You may use the Speed 1 turn template when doing a boost. So that gives you some extra options with your maneuverability. That's actually kind of cool. I don't think I've ever flown him. So yeah, that's a unique feature for the uniquely named pilots. They will also tend to have a higher skill value than their non-unique counterparts, as well as a higher cost. And also, they may have the medal, the elite pilot talent, which do unnamed have? There might be some unnamed that, or non-unique rather, whatever you want to call it. There might be, I don't know. I don't think that's common. I think you have to be unique typically before you get that. But those are the only real differences between the unique named and the non-unique unique named pilot talents. I can talk, I swear. Are you getting that the reason I call this Idiot's Guide to X-Wing is because it's done by an idiot, not because your guys are idiots for not knowing the game? And, yeah, that's about it. Pilot card. It's a thing. Bye-bye.